Good day, everyone. I am Saki Ilyama, a third year BS Ed English student. Welcome to another topic of discussion in Module 2, Lesson 4, Assessing Student Learning Outcomes. Since we are done with principles of good practice in assessing learning outcomes, let's move on to the concept of constructive alignment. The concepts to be discussed in this topic are the following: establish learning objectives, provide learning opportunities, assess student learning, and use the results from the assessment. A good teaching system aligns teaching method and assessment to the learning activities stated in the objectives, so that all aspects of this system are in accord in supporting appropriate student learning. This system is called constructive alignment, as it is based on the twin principle of constructivism learning and alignment in teaching. This is from John Biggs, 1999. An important consideration when designing a learning experience, course, or program is to ensure assessments and instructional strategies are aligned with intended learning outcomes. Creating an aligned design focuses instructional strategies on development of knowledge, skills, and values while providing formative feedback and preparing learners for formal assessment. So, what is constructive alignment? Constructive alignment is a design for teaching in which what is intended students should learn and how they should express their learning is clearly stated before teaching takes place. So I have here the instructional cycle of constructive alignment. First, we have establish learning objectives. We have provide learning opportunities, assess student learning, and lastly, use the results from the assessment. When we say establish learning objectives, we should write clear, measurable outcomes of student learning in line with assessment criteria. Then we need to provide learning opportunities, design content, fine-tune teaching and assessment to provide multiple opportunities to achieve all established learning outcomes. Then we need to assess student learning. Teachers implement their planned assessments to determine whether students have met the intended learning outcomes. And lastly, use the results from the assessment. We need to use results to understand and improve student learning and fine-tune teaching strategies and practice. So the aforementioned instructional cycle of constructive alignment can be in this form of question by Ralph Tyler. We have, what educational purposes should the school seek to attain? What educational experiences can be provided that are likely to attain these purposes? Third, how can these educational experiences be effectively organized? And lastly, how can we determine whether these purposes are being attained? According to Phil Ray's 2012, the lecturer's knowledge is just information for the students. The question is, then how does information become knowledge? Information only becomes knowledge when you do something with it. When you describe this doing that the students should do, it is done in terms of outcomes. For example, students have to apply, calculate, compare, analyze, interpret, integrate the information in order for them to create their own knowledge. Knowledge creation is thus an active process which the lecturer facilitates through the identified learning opportunities. Now, when planning a curriculum, we first have to be clear about what we want our students to learn, and then teach and assess accordingly in a aligned system of instruction, Biggs 1996. Such a system is fully criterion referenced as the outcomes defined what we should be teaching, how we should be teaching it, and how we could know how well students have learned it. In aligned teaching, there is maximum consistency throughout the system. Now, take time to reflect this question. As a future educator, how important constructive alignment is in the field of teaching. That's all with my report. I hope you have learned something. Thank you for watching and listening. Have a great day ahead.